I knew it was going to be something nuts. I almost went crazy like that.
We got USA Boxing over there.
Let's go.
Shout out JP.
Yeah, it's huge.
I was wearing the college shirt playing golf recently. People were like, USA Boxing? I was like, yeah, I got connections. It's not
College
good
shirt's
news.
nice. I wore this to the gym one day and did the speed bag. And
Which you're pretty nice at.
I got multiple people being like, how long you been boxing, dude? You on USA's boxing team?
Yeah,
I don't box
started
at
when I
all.
was 6.
Don't box at all.
You got those shoulders, though. The
Man.
boxer shoulders.
Thank you.
Dude, this weather's so nice. Allergies bothering you, but beside that, it's nice.
Yeah. Little sniffly today. It is nice, though.
It wasn't too bad, but I cut the grass Saturday. Blew, did all kind of yard work, woke up Sunday morning. Head was a little bit congested. The sinus pressure was real, but I'll trade it. I'll take it for the warm weather.
Cutting grass is actually nice. I've been living in a townhome for, like over 2 years now, and I don't even have the opportunity to cut grass. Sometimes it's a little aggravating. It's like, I got to cut the grass. But then once you're doing it, it's a little relaxing.
I'm with you. Because we were in a townhouse, then the apartment, then now here. And I've loved it.
Yeah.
It is sometimes a lot. Like you have to think about it more. But it's good exercise. You're outside. The satisfaction of a job well done. Could you ask for more?
It's just rewarding. I'm pretty allergic to grass too. So I always like sneeze and stuff after, but still don't mind doing it. I don't know.
Worth
Something
it.
about it.
Throw a mask on if you have to.
One time I did one of those allergy tests at the allergen.
At the allergen?
At the allergist. Anyway, they tested me for 35 things on my back, like little scratch test, and I was allergic to 34 of them. So maybe it was 36 and 35. If that makes more sense. But yeah, I was allergic to 35.
All grass stuff?
Yeah, grass, weeds, trees, animals.
Outsides, animals.
Every animal except I think it was they tested for cockroaches for some reason, and I wasn't allergic to cockroaches. So
I grew up in South Carolina. Like,
yeah,
the palmetto bugs are good with me.
right. So I can have a pet cockroach, but
not a pet copper.
not a pet copper. But I do. That's probably why I'm sniffing.
Yeah, all the things. You're like outside, animals, all the things Alan loves.
All the things that hurt me.
Cats are the one that's brutal for me.
Ooh, dude, I can walk into somebody's house, and if they have a cat, I will immediately know. I'll be like, "Where's your cat at?"
I'm physically and emotionally allergic to cats. So,
Yep.
not the worst.
I don't know, man. There's some cool cats out there. Some cool
cats. Some cool cats out there.
Every now and then I'll come across a cat, and I'm like, "That's a cool cat."
Nah, there are a couple.
Yeah.
But few and far between. You know what's a bummer? Have you watched much baseball lately?
No, dude, I've been so busy with wrapping up work. This is my last week of work, so tons of things to catch up on. Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah. Dude, I'm so bummed about Spencer Strider because I can't remember if we talked about it last episode because he had 2 starts, left with some elbow pain, which is never good, out for the season now, which just is a bummer. It's his second one. It's tough.
That's real tough, man.
It's tough.
When was his first one?
2019 when he was still at Clemson.
I hate that he was
But-
at Clemson.
I know. He's the one person I'm able to look past right now and actually really like.
That's
Clemson
fair.
receivers I can respect, though.
I've had 2 people, I think, maybe 3. Taj Boyd. I think it's because he never beat South Carolina, so I never cared.
Fair.
DJ Uiagalelei. Also because I want him to get revenge on Clemson.
Yes.
Spencer Strider, so it's going to be 4. And then the last one is Brian Dawkins, who actually may potentially come into our draft later.
Yeah, because we're finishing up we're trying to end the dream team drafts. And so we're doing DBs and then special teams, doing 2 safeties.
So with 4 safeties, Brian Dawkins may come into play, the X factor. And if we did a draft strictly on like football entrances, I might pick him number 1 overall.
Better than Ray Lewis?
Yes, I think so. I mean,
You think so, though? You said that confidently, then you said, I think so.
objectively, I think so. Other people might not agree just based on Ray Lewis is just iconic. So if you're going best of all time, Ray Lewis
Plus,
is
like
probably
the presence that Ray Lewis has when he walks out there.
Yeah,
you
but
know, the
Dude,
man.
if you haven't watched Brian Dawkins' entrance, you have to watch it. he like turns into a different person. It's crazy.
That's fair. But dude, this made me feel so old that Jackson Holiday got called up to the majors because his dad, I remember, I would say rookie season, at least early on, like he was one of my favorite players to watch outside of Braves players, obviously.
Yeah. I
That's
remember
weird.
too. It's definitely makes you feel old.
Wild.
At least he looks super young though.
Yeah,
That
does
makes me feel a little
bit
less
better.
old. It's like, okay.
But still, it's like I remember when your dad was young in the league.
Right.
And now that's you.
But he probably also remembers when his dad was in the league. So
Let's see. What year is he born?
Date
'Cause
yourself
I think
too
Matt
much.
Holliday came in in 2004. Let's see when Jackson Holiday.
I mean,
was
he probably
born.
doesn't remember his first couple seasons. There's no way. Because he's probably like,
Oh, he was born. Wait, no. He was born in 2003.
Oh, I was going to say, was he a draft baby?
No, close to it.
Yeah.
Close to it though, because Matt Holliday. Let's see. Yeah, Matt Holliday came in 2004.
That's what I'm saying. He could have been a draft baby.
And I mean, he played until 2018, so there was almost an overlap.
Matt Holliday played till 2018.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so that's not too bad, but still.
Dude, I don't feel old anymore at all.
No, we're not old.
I feel so much better about
Don't
myself.
date us shit.
Well, no, you are. I'm not old yet.
Oh, how old are you? 25?
21.
27, right?
Yeah, for like a couple more days. But anyway, I'm so pumped baseball's here. I love it. It's fun.
Baseball is fun. We need to make it out to some games this year.
I know.
I've still never
Go
been
to
to a Braves
Truist Park.
game. Love the Braves. Never been.
Ever. Even at Turner Field?
Ever. No, my first game, my only MLB game I've ever been to is when we went to the Mets game against the Angels last year.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had plans to go to Atlanta multiple times and it's always just fallen through. So
Interesting.
got to
Well,
hit
you've been
something.
up to anything crazy?
One of my buddies had a bachelor party this weekend in Dirty Myrtle, South Carolina. So that was a good time. We made the smart decision to go deep sea fishing on Saturday morning. And so I got severely seasick, which is great.
Nice.
I didn't even fish. I touched the fishing pole and immediately just sat back down.
Oh, that sounds
It was also just like I prepared for it pretty well. I drank a lot of water the night before, got decent sleep. I put like a medicated nausea patch on the back of my neck, which
My man was as prepared as he could be.
for some reason I thought that was going to work better than Dramamine because it's in your system longer. And I was trying to be smart about it. Should probably just taken Dramamine because I've done it before. Anyway, we go out and it's choppy, dude. Like it's windy. It's cold. I'm not expecting it to be cold. I'm wearing shorts and a thin, like long sleeve t-shirt. It's probably like high 50s with a wind chill. And
Dang.
we're going out in the ocean. It's freaking just up and down the whole time. The first like 2 hours, I was completely fine. Started feeling like a little bit saucy there at the end of the first 2 hours because we just been out there for so long and it was cold. I was just like kind of shivering. And at this point, we were just like trolling the fishing lines behind. We weren't even casting or anything yet. And I started feeling bloated and I was like, let me go to the bathroom on the ship to see if I can just, get some of this out. I think I'll feel a lot better if I do.
Go for a quick diet,
Dude, the bathroom is downstairs in the front of the boat, right where the boat is freaking smacking the waves. Sit on the toilet, just keep getting bucked off that thing. And you can't see anything down there. And so you just get super disoriented. And I could never use the bathroom. Went back up immediately. That's when I got sick and just had to lay down on the boat for the next 2 hours. So
That sounds brutal.
it was rough.
Was it
dude.
was it like just you guys on the group or one of those that are like 40 people on it? You know what I'm talking
It was like a
about?
smaller boat. So it was just
Okay.
8 of us on the boat.
So you're probably feeling it a lot more when it's choppy out there too.
Yeah, and it's a smaller boat, so it's just going up and down. And I think it was just like the length of time mixed with me going into the bathroom where I couldn't see anything. Because I've been in choppy water before and it's been fine, but just not for that long.
Man.
Yeah. So that's what I've been up to.
Wow.
Yeah, fun.
Just living the dream.
Living the dream, man. Out on the open sea. Fun stuff. You ever been
Open
deep sea
sea.
fishing?
Yeah, but I've only done the one that's the other option I was saying where it's like 40 people on one of those boats and you just have like the rods that are anchored to the wall and you just drop straight down.
Oh, yeah.
Which is pretty fun. You just camp out above a bunch of fish and then drop a line down, catch them.
Well, that's the other thing. We weren't even catching really any big fish. Like, they were all kind of smaller fish we were catching.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't really feel, I tried to stand up to cast one time, and I grabbed the rod and I felt like I was going to fall over. And I was like, let me just sit back down, and it's not worth it at the moment.
You're like, maybe if everyone else was catching a bunch of fish, I would do it. But
exactly. Like,
right
if they're
now,
pulling in some crazy fish, I'd have been down, but it wasn't worth it for what was happening at the time.
that sounds rough. I feel for you there.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
What about you? What did you do this weekend?
What did I do this weekend? It's nothing.
Hey,
Pretty
sometimes
sure
those are
nothing.
nice, though.
No, it was nice. Like I said, caught up on lawn care because it'd been raining a bunch. So Saturday, cut the grass, blow, weed eat, all that kind of stuff, which was nice. Caught up on some inside chores too. Then had some friends over on Saturday. Some friends were in town from Savannah. Got to see them. So that was fun.
Nice.
Just kind of chill weekend, which is honestly what I needed.
Yeah, I need more of those around.
And it's starting to finally be consistently warm here, which you've had forever because you're a Florida man. But for the rest of us,
what's
we got like a
what's warm up
teaser.
there?
It's like objectively warm right now. Let's see. I'll check. Let me check the weather app right now. So I'm not just BSing you.
Yeah, let's see what you got.
All right. Right now it's 73 degrees.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
have
nice.
78 today. Looks like it's about to get cold again. Like 50s, 40s. That's stupid. This is what always happens.
40s is the high or the low?
Low.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. So 78 today, 77. Ooh, Thursday's 83 degrees and sunny. Yikes, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's solid.
Then Sunday, high of 62, which is a little bit of a bummer, but better than 40s.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
On the come up.
I'm a warm weather guy. What can I say?
Oh, yeah. This is the best time of the year when you're gearing up for summer, feeling good. You get those days that feel like summer but aren't too hot yet.
Mm-hmm.
Spring's awesome. All our birthdays are in the spring. Huge. Spring break.
Adult spring break.
Adult spring break that we're going on for the rest of our lives.
Forever.
I will never miss a spring break.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, I'm glad the vibes are high right now because unfortunately we don't have an Iceman's unsung hero today. But we got the weather, so it kind of balances out.
Yeah. That's good. All right, so what we got on the 2-minute drill this week, Joe?
This past weekend, we obviously had the illustrious Masters tournament where Scottie Scheffler won his second green jacket, becoming the 18th player to do so, and the fourth youngest, following the likes of Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods. A few fun facts about this. He joined Tiger Woods as the only player to win the Masters and the Players in the same year, and they're the only players to win multiple majors while ranked number one in the world. He has also won $12.7 million in tournament earnings over the last 35 days, which is so good that his caddy has earned $1.2 million based off the standard 10% cut. I have never wanted to be a caddy so bad in my life.
Career change coming up. A few weeks back, we talked about the Ohtani scandal, and this is a way that something like a caddy can go wrong. I thought we should give a little update on that situation. So it's still pretty strange going on, but his interpreter is in negotiations to plead guilty to the alleged theft to cover the gambling debts. And when that happens, the MLB is expected to quickly interview and clear Ohtani.
He's completely innocent. Clear.
Right.
Nah, who knows what that is? A little bit intriguing to say the least.
Yeah.
But shout out Ryan Reynolds and Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia because Wrexham has secured its second promotion in 2 years. The club is now 2 tiers away from the Premier League.
That's a great story. I need to watch that show.
Great story. I do too.
In hockey, the 1,000 Assist Club has a new member, Sidney Crosby. Became the 14th NFL player with 1,000 assists. He's been at it for a while. Congrats, Sid.
It is impressive. Come on, Sid. And then in UFC news, the McGregor-Chandler fight is finally happening. The two square off at UFC, not USC, 303 on June 29th.
That's so hype.
Clock it.
Oh, dude,
so
I'm
hype.
just going to miss being in Ireland for that fight. Frick.
Who do you want to win that?
I think I got to go Chandler.
Gotta
go Chandler.
Because he's a boy of the boy.
Yeah.
The boy of the boy, Michael Chandler.
Yeah, because I think
obviously.
Chandler's next fight might be JP.
Dude, that was wild when he said JP's the scrappiest of the bunch.
Yeah, that's awesome. I hope.
Man.
Not hope. Did you see where JP was like trying to get Michael Chandler to choke him out at one point.
Yeah, because they were doing a live stream for, was it a playoff game or the national championship?
I think it was like the
or
national
something
championship.
like that. And he was like, if it gets however many views, thousands, it wasn't even crazy. It was like 10,000 views or something. He's like, I'll let Mike Chandler choke me out. And they're like, don't you want to go a higher number? He's like, nah, like we'll do it for like 3,000.
No, I want to do it. Dude, that's
my guy. That's something that we would do too.
I can't take any more
More
head
me,
trauma
maybe.
or neck trauma
More
or
me.
whatever. But maybe you can do it.
Yeah.
That sounds terrifying, bro. Just getting
It sounds awful.
submissed by a UFC fighter. I'm out, man.
That is rough.
I want to talk about Ohtani. What do we think about that?
Ooh. So hold on. Let me see if I can find this because I saw an article earlier that was fascinating on this. Do you have any thoughts while I'm looking it up?
I do. I do have a few thoughts. I haven't looked into this as far as I should have, and I probably shouldn't even speak on this. I just don't see any way that Ohtani's not involved. I really don't. The amount of money that was spent, how this dude makes $70K a year, right? And he's racking up millions of dollars in debt. Ohtani's got to be involved, man. And the way the MLB seems like they're trying to just like get past it. If it's anybody else, I don't think they make it past this. Not like that. I think anybody
as
else,
unscathed as it's about to be.
He's an international superstar. If it's anybody that's not Ohtani, I really think it's like a suspension, investigation. Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Okay, this is what's a little bit interesting. I found the article I was looking at earlier. This is on Yahoo. It said MLB is expected to quickly interview and clear Ohtani after federal investigation ends. So what's going on, and it says the whole thing remains very strange because he was close enough to steal the millions, but Ohtani had no idea that he was doing so, or what he was doing with the money. The most curious paragraph, this is from the article, but it said, in the affidavit, continues to be the last one in the document. On or about March 20, 2024, his translator messaged Bookmaker One stating, have you seen the report? Bookmaker One said, yes, but it's all BS. Obviously, you didn't steal from him. I understand it's a cover job. I totally get it. The translator then responded to Bookmaker One. Technically, I did steal from him. It's all over. It's interesting they said, well, the cover job and stuff, but then technically, I did steal, which makes me, that kind of reinforces the theory that we had before that he was borrowing it from him. And then maybe Ohtani didn't know exactly what it was or didn't look into it. And that's where it's technically stealing. And then he realized he could have been implicated in this.
Or Ohtani was giving him like a little sum of money to be able to bet. Mm-hmm. But he was like going well over what he was supposed to. Or like betting stuff he wasn't supposed to be betting. Maybe.
That's an interesting
one. Ohtani has to be involved, dude. I don't see a way that he's not somehow involved. And to be honest, I don't, whatever. If he's betting not to do with himself, like, I think you should be able to bet for yourself, to be honest. Like, why can't you make money when you're playing well?
Was it on MLB things? Because that would be the...
Well, I'm saying, like, I don't even know that it was. I'm saying, in general, who really cares if he was betting? And who cares if he was betting for himself? I think the only way that I would be, like, really mad about it is if he was betting, like, against his team or something. But I don't...
Yeah, or, like, a game that he's involved with in some way.
I don't even mind.
Even if you're betting on yourself.
Yeah, if you're like, we're going to win this game, I'll put money on it. Like, that's fine with me. The problem is, I don't think he's getting the same treatment as everybody else in the league would get. Including Pete Rose, who's been exiled from the Hall of Fame, and he's the hits leader. So
his is also a little bit different.
But how,
Pete Rose and Ohtani.
How? If Ohtani's like proven to have bet on baseball.
Yeah, but didn't Pete Rose bet against himself?
No, he would just bet for himself. As far as I'm aware.
Oh, did he?
I'm pretty sure. I've looked pretty far into it. I'm pretty sure he only bet for himself.
Okay, then I'll take that back. Strucken from the record. Stricken. Anyway, it's interesting. I was just looking at timeline of events. I have no idea what's going on, but I feel like this is not the most thorough investigation. It seems like there's someone who's willing to fall on the sword.
I totally think that's what's going to happen. And honestly, if they're in cahoots together, Ohtani's probably going to pay him under the table.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you fall on the sword? He'd probably just let him keep the betting money.
I don't know. What I do know, though, is I got a fun little game for you today.
What we got?
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
So instead of the Florida man or a debate that's obviously true that Jason Bourne is the best, I've got a little world record trivia for you. So I've got 10 crazy world records. I'm trying to get you to guess what the record is. They all have a numeric value. I was going to do multiple choice, but I'm like, that's less fun. So you just got to blanket guess it. Just like straight up guess it. But what I've done is I've created a point system for you. If you're within 5% low or high, you get 3 points. And if you're within 15% low or high, you're going to get 1 point of it. So like if the answer is 10, if you guess between 9.5 and 10.5, you get 3 points. If you guess between 8.5 and 11.5, you'll get 1 point.
Okay.
If you get it exactly, 10 points.
Okay.
Ooh, in case you know one of those.
Man, this is going to be
all right.
wild. Yeah, I'm ready.
I
have no clue what to think. I'm
curious how it goes.
Let's do it.
I know. There's no way to really prep. Exciting. First up, what is the longest time someone has voluntarily held their breath?
I'm going. It's going to be something crazy. I'm going 9 minutes and 7 seconds.
9-7? Here's the thing. You were right. It was crazy. But the answer is 24 minutes and 37 seconds.
I knew it was going to be something nuts. I almost went crazy like that. I don't understand how you can physiologically do that.
I don't know either. The Croatian Budimir, don't know how to say his last name, did it in 2021.
The reason I did 9 is because...
It's because that's a crazy number?
No, because after 8 minutes of hypoxia, your brain starts to suffer like damage. So I guess 9 because I figured somebody could hold it a little longer than that. That's insane, dude. I wonder if he like was okay after that. I want to watch a video of it.
Yeah. That's what I thought you would like these topics, so that's why.
I'm ready to get freaking punked on this. I'm gonna have no clue.
All right, this one's wild. What is the heaviest train that someone has pulled by their beard? Pulling a train with just their beard, how much did the train weigh?
Oh, that's the most random thing ever.
I know. This is the most random.
Pounds, tons, kilograms. What are we doing?
I have it in pounds.
Let's go with 3,700 and no, that's way low. Let's go. Yeah, I don't think I can go any higher than that. 3,797.
6,069 pounds. Pulled it for 10 meters. That is just insane.
I want to see that beard.
This one's a little bit in left field too. But how long was the longest stand-up comedy show by one person? So just continuous show, telling jokes for how long?
It's got to be over 24 hours. I'm going 26 hours even.
40 hours, 8 minutes.
Oh my God.
You got to get a point soon though.
Yeah. How many questions we got?
Yeah, no. We got 10. So you're 0 for 3 so far. Next up though, what is the highest total number? This one is insane. What is the highest total number of miles driven on one single car? How many miles can Dora get up to, basically?
Well, she's at 330K right now. I'm going with 3 million.
3,039,122. You just locked in 3 points right there.
I almost got insane. 10 points.
It was a 1966 Volvo 1800S. American Irvin Gordon. That sounds like a name that
is his name American, right? Or is he an American?
No, he's American. I'm giving you the nationality for it. I don't know if I did in the last couple.
I was like, yo, American Irvin's a sick name.
American Irvin. Yeah, so the beard guy was Spanish. His name was Ismael Rivas Falcon. That's a sick name. Then the comedian was American David Scott. American David. American David.
Heck yeah.
All right. How far was the longest nonstop run in terms of
like
mileage?
Without stopping to walk, without stopping to stand, that stuff, right?
I think so. Yeah, like just like a continuous run. You're not sleeping. You're just going.
I'm going. Let's go 321 miles.
Close. 350.
80
so you were
hours?
Just 80 hours and 44 minutes. The American Dean
Dean
did it in 2005. So you only got 1 point there. You were just outside of the 3-point range. That's insane.
That's nuts.
80 hours of running. I can barely do 8 minutes of running.
Sheesh.
This one's for you. I picked it out specifically. How deep was the deepest free dive?
Oh, dude, they have that show on Netflix that I started and I never finished.
I was nervous you could get this one exactly.
Is this in meters?
I have it in feet, I believe.
Oh, gosh.
Because we're American.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, it's something absolutely crazy. Let me do the calculation in my head. I'm gonna say 513 feet.
That would be crazy. Close though, 436 feet.
Dang it. It's like 120 meters, right?
Yeah.
Is that what?
Yeah, that's insane. Because it would be about 120 meters.
Yeah, I thought it was 120 meters, and then I just did terrible calculation in my head. I was like, I'll just say 500.
Well, what'd you say? Did you say 500 even, or did you go 513, or what'd you say?
530 or something like that.
It's a bummer, because if you'd said 500 even, you would have gotten 1 point.
Yeah,
but nothing.
Yeah, I said 500 even.
Yeah. I said 436. What'd you hear?
I almost did say 400.
Crazy. Russian Alexei Malkanov. That sounds right. That sounds Russian. He did it in 2023. Allen's about to do 450 in 2024, though.
I'd be happy to do 45.
All right, this one. What is the biggest, or how tall was the biggest wave ever surfed?
It's, you got it in feet?
I got it in feet. Again, we're American.
I'd rather have it in freedom units. How many washing machines tall? Let's go with 97 feet.
Ooh, you made it in the 1 point range, but it is 86 feet. So the 1 point range was from 73.1 to 98.9. So well done. And in Nazare, maybe one day you'll surf Nazare.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
In the off season.
One day I'll watch you surf it.
When there's no swell in the off season.
Paddleboard it when it's flat.
There's a paddleboarding question coming up. I think it's the number 10 question though. So next up, what is the height of the highest slack line ever completed?
Is this a trick question where it's on like a plane or not a plane, but like a helicopter?
It's not necessarily attached to land.
Okay. Is this altitude or above ground level?
This is above ground level.
Okay. Oh, man. Let's go with 3,200 feet.
6,200 feet.
Golly. What was it off of?
It was between two hot air balloons.
Oh, dude. You said not necessarily.
I said it wasn't. Yeah, I can't tell you it was off of a hot air balloon because then it's going to focus your range.
Yeah, but you said not necessarily ground. So I thought it was like something that was still attached to the ground. Like it was on a mountain.
That's why I worded it like that though. Because I wanted to win.
Dude, I
know you did. And I specifically worded it like that. All right, two more. How far was the longest ski jump?
Ooh. I'm going with. Did you just go by the thing?
I did. I didn't accidentally flash it up on the screen.
I'm going 613 feet.
832. I think the women's one was like 7 something too.
I just went, 2 football fields.
It's insane because this is definitely outside of Olympics or X Games or any of that, because they don't try to maximize distance, which is absurd because apparently health and safety. But this one was done by the Austrian Stefan Kraft.
I don't even understand how it's physically possible. He had to be going so fast, man.
All right, last one then. How far was the longest stand-up paddleboard journey?
Is this like a continual journey? Is it a...
I'm going to give you a better answer this time since it was annoying last time.
No, I don't want it.
This is a continual journey, but he can like...
Okay. I got the answer.
All right.
I'm going... I think it was... I bet it was from Hawaii to mainland America. Or something like that. I'm going to go 3,700 miles.
1,663.62 miles.
Oh.
It was an Australian, of course, because they do cool stuff like that. Peter Charlesworth, who did it from March 4th to June 11th, 2023.
He did that many miles in 3 months?
Yeah. It's insane.
Jeez, dude. Where did he go? Do you know?
So you ended up with 5 points.
Was he just bebopping around Australia? Because that adds a
I
level.
think that's what it sounded
adds
like.
another level to it. You got all kind of stuff that wants to kill you over there.
A lot of crazy stuff. A lot of things that want to kill you in Australia.
Yeah.
But 5 points, not bad.
No.
Definitely not good. But not completely embarrassing.
I mean, when you're giving a random... All right, I'm going to do this for you next week.
I know. That's why I thought about doing multiple choice, but I'm like, I would rather just see where your mind goes with it without any prompting. And then try to give a little bit.
I don't think I gave too crazy answers.
No, you really did.
But I definitely underestimated the just sheer whatever you want to call it of people. People just have so much time on their hands, dude. Like, I would love to paddle for 1,600 miles on a paddleboard. And honestly, that record's very beatable.
Yeah.
Over 3 months. To be sure that was over 3 months of the same year.
You think that was 15 months?
No. Now I think about it, no, I don't. We could beat that.
Yeah, let's do it.
That might be what we need to do. So I got a question, little conversation topic. What do you think the hardest thing in all of sports is? I've seen this come up a couple times recently. Just scrolling through stuff. The hardest thing to do in all of sports.
Man, this one always gets me because it's so hard because what's your criteria for it?
I think...
And like, are we talking about for a normal body size? Or are we talking about... Because people will then talk about like hitting a baseball off of like MLB pitcher or like golf ball or like difficulty that way. But then obviously, if you're a normal person in the NFL, tackling someone would be like,
that's true.
You know what I mean? So I don't know how to look
Let's
at
go
it.
with like total normal person either playing this sport at a high level or like a position at a high level. So I guess you could, in baseball, I would split it up between like hitting a baseball or like pitching or playing field or whatever. And then football, like a position, basketball, a position.
I'm biased. I think I got to come back though to hitting, because if you look at batting averages, let's say 300 is like a really good average. Yeah. That means you're failing at it 7 out of 10 times.
But my argument on that would be, they're not absolutely failing to hit the ball. They're failing to get a base hit.
To get it.
So, I mean, they're still hitting the ball. But
were you not counting that all encompassing? I'm meaning to like get it.
Yeah, I'm encompassing it, but there's also like a aspect of, I mean, at that level, not as much, but there's an aspect of luck to getting a hit, I would say. Like, you know, a lot of hits go right past somebody's glove. So,
yeah,
I don't know. I think the aspect of like the fact that most people don't strike out every time they don't get a hit, right? So, I think
what would you argue though is above it?
I think a couple things, dude. Actually, and hot topic. That's why I'm bringing it up, because I've seen multiple things saying hitting's like the hardest thing. I think pitching is probably harder than hitting in the MLB. Because if an average person goes up there to hit, like you could stick the bat out a couple times, maybe make some contact.
No, not the average person.
All right, we watched.
Not the average person. Do you?
I mean, you
watch Survivor. Dude. You need to go watch one episode of Survivor and watch the average person do something athletic. I don't think
the average person's getting a hit in baseball, but I think you could like somehow a decently athletic person that with some kind of sports background, they practice for a little while. I think they could make contact. So every now and then.
Potentially, yeah.
I think if you try to do that with pitching, you're just getting rocked every single time you come up to pitch.
Like against the MLB.
Or you're walking somebody or hitting somebody.
But then that's like, yeah.
So I think pitching is maybe a little bit harder than hitting in the grand scheme of things.
I don't know.
I think that, and then the one
to me, I lump that more into what I was saying about tackling in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Like, there's like the skill of hitting where you don't necessarily have to be bigger or stronger. Like, look at Ozzy Albies. He's like one of the biggest power hitters.
Yeah.
Whereas like a pitcher, if you can't throw more than 70 miles an hour, or if you're not big enough to tackle someone, there's like a little bit of a physicality where I'm like, that's why
there's like some pitchers that just throw junk balls though. Like knuckleball pitchers and stuff like that.
But like, yeah, but all of them can throw at least mid 80s.
I think most people, if you really like worked at it, you could probably throw close to that.
I don't think so.
80? You could probably throw 80.
Maybe 80. Like most,
I think we're like overgeneralizing most people. I would say like, let's give it to like an athletic person, a person that played sports growing up. They're semi-athletic.
Okay, yeah. When you're saying most people, I'm taking it as like most people.
Yeah, you're taking it literally
most
like
people can't run a mile.
Most people aren't.
Yeah,
might not be able to hold a bat.
That's what I was saying. Like watch a little bit of Survivor. Yeah. Most people can't run a mile without stopping.
I don't know though. I think another argument for the hitting deal is if you look at hitters, like you brought up Ozzy, and then take it to the other end of the spectrum. You got big boy from the Mets, forgot his name, Vogelbach. And any body size, whatever, can hit and have their groove in hitting, but I don't think that works for some other things. If that makes sense.
Which that's why I'm trying to separate the skill versus the ability.
Well, let's keep it with talent. Skill then. And I think
because what were the other ones you were thinking of?
I think the number one hardest thing to do in all of sports is play cornerback at the NFL level. You have to be athletic, quick. You have to be smart. You have to react, split second reaction. You're talking like just as fast, if not faster, than a hitter's reaction.
I agree with you, but that's just like you have to be gifted to be able to cover someone.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like absolutely impossible for the majority of people to do. Just like the majority of people trying to block on the O-line. Like if you make one of us a left tackle, we can't block. So that's where I'm trying to eliminate the physicality standpoint, because it's like you could play cornerback. So
I think you could technically play cornerback at any size. Like you have tall cornerbacks, you have short cornerbacks.
Yeah, but if you're running a 5'3", 40, you can't do anything at cornerback.
Right. Yeah, I think there's a separation there for sure. But yeah, I don't know. In my eyes, I think cornerback is like the hardest position to play. Maybe like most exclusive position to play in all of sports.
I think you're so limited by your athletic ability there. You can't being a quarterback. If you don't have to have the strongest arm, you can make a better read. You can have better decision making. Like there are things you can do to combat it. If you're not athletic enough, you're just going to get burnt at cornerback because you have to be reactive to the. I mean, yeah, there's some stuff you can do, but you know what I mean.
Right, you stuff them at the line,
you don't take the route,
whatever. But that's about it. But yeah, I think that's the only argument I wanted to make.
I'm down for that one. The one that I see a lot is golf, because people like to do that versus MLB hitting. And I had the thought today with it. I think golf is interesting because it's the one sport that all amateurs are essentially able to compare themselves with professionals.
Right.
And so you're playing the same game as a professional is. So of course you're like, yeah, it's so hard to hit a golf ball. And you're like, yeah, it's hard to hit a 315-yard drive dead center of the fairway. And it's hard to chip up or like come out of a trap. But like, is it that hard to just get the ball in a hole in 10 strokes.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, that's why I think it's difficult to compare those, but, or like it's easy to compare where you are with a professional, but like, have you ever even come close to hitting off an MLB
Right. Most
pitcher?
people probably haven't hit
It's
over
like you,
70 miles an hour.
yeah, and then at best, maybe you go to one of those cages and you get like an 80-mile-an-hour fastball.
And you know where it's coming every
like,
single
oh, that
time.
was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my argument against the golf one. Like, I'm not saying golf's easy, but you're straight up always comparing yourself to the pros, and you just don't have that accessibility in another sport or another skill. Like, I've never had the chance to cover an NFL receiver.
Right. Yeah.
You know
I don't
what
want
like,
to.
And I would
That'd
get
be embarrassing.
toasted. I would be so embarrassed.
Tear both my ACLs. But yeah, I like that. I like the argument with the golf. That's a good argument because that is the one that everybody can kind of be like, oh man, golf is super hard because I'm not playing at the level that the pros playing.
Yeah, because I actually understand it.
Right. I have a
framework for
I have a
knowing
spin-off question on that real quick.
it. Ooh.
I saw this on Instagram somewhere. Do you think if you started every single hole of the Masters on the green at the furthest point of the green, and
That's
you just
been a
had
fun
to
one.
put it
I've
in,
seen that, like,
do you
every
think
year.
you could win?
I've seen this even on comments, and this is the answer. If I have a caddy, yes. If it's me,
Ooh.
no. That's the difference. If someone's pointing out my lines for me and telling me about how hard to hit it, all of that, I think there's a chance. If I'm trying to read the greens, done.
Host.
Because the other thing I'm thinking about is what happens when I putt off the green, which is what happens. Do I get to reset it on the green, or do I have
Texas
to chip
wedge,
up? Because if I have to, dude, yeah, Texas wedge. But if I have to touch another wedge, game over.
Yeah,
I'm not even finishing the top 20.
I'm not a very good putter. I think, I don't know, dude. I think it could be close though. Like if it's a multi-day, if you're doing the entire Masters and you don't get cut, so you have a couple days to kind of like get used to the putts, you get used to
But the problem is the pin location changing.
right? But like you still have, you'll start feeling it a little bit. I don't know, and you'll probably get a couple lucky ones that you're gonna maybe get in one, maybe get in two, and if you do that on like a par five. A couple par fives.
Ooh, I don't know if I'm one putting anything.
I mean, I'm probably not either, but I think it's
but potentially.
Right. And I'm not a good putter. I don't think I could, but I think there's a chance.
That's what I'm saying. I think if there's a caddy, that's what makes a difference.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good argument. But I think if it's just 18 holes, I'm toast. If you give me like
if it's 18 holes, me out there. Because dude, par threes, like I'm going to probably 4 to 5.
Yeah, they're probably going to put it closer on their first shot than I'm going to put it on my first putt. So
yeah,
you just gotta bank on the par fours and par fives.
Well, should we start our drafts?
Yeah, and this is going to flow perfectly in off of the question because we're going to draft the hardest position in all of sports, plus probably one of the most fun positions to play in all of sports. We're going to have cornerback and safety.
That's true. So we're doing DBs first, and then we're going to do special teams after this draft because we're like, it's time to wrap it up. We've been doing these for like the entire year of 2024.
Yeah, been going on.
So, yeah, we have. All right, you get first pick for DBs. We're doing 3 cornerbacks, 2 safeties. Doesn't have to be free or strong or anything like that. Just a mix of whatever you want. I might have an idea where you're going number 1.
Maybe. I think there's only one real option here. Got to go with primetime himself. Give me Deion Sanders, most electric cornerback of all time.
I assumed you were doing that.
Had to.
So I didn't even get excited. I did write them down, but I assumed I wasn't going to get them. You went Deion 1. I'm going to lock up my safeties now, and I probably am not even getting the best safety, but give me Ed Reed and then Troy Polamalu.
That's mega tough. Mega tough. Well,
did you expect me to do that?
I really hoped you wouldn't do that, but that's what I would have done probably. I don't know if I'd have totally locked him up. Well, in that case, I think the guy we talked about earlier is going to come into play, but not quite yet. So, dang, I was not prepared for that. But that's okay because I'm going My number 2 cornerback, give me Champ Bailey. Had his poster on my wall as a kid. Dude was a beast. I got to go another big-time cornerback from when I was growing up. Gonna put you on Revis Island. Give me Darrelle Revis. Did you want those two, or did you have somebody else in mind?
Champ was a little bit lower for me. I really did want Revis, and I obviously wanted Dion. Yeah. I'm gonna go.
Are you gonna go Dick Night Train Lane?
No,
for the all names team.
I might do Rod Woodson and Charles Woodson. Get the Woodsons locked up.
Those are both good picks. I thought about both of those.
I think I'm going to do that. There's another person that I'm torn between, but it's kind of fun to do 2 Woodsons.
And I mean, you still have another pick that I can't take from you, so you're good. Mm-hmm. Man, you got Troy and Ed. That's ultra tough. I think I'm going to have to go with the X Factor himself, Brian Dawkins. Give me that entrance, that presence on the field. Need him locking it up at safety. Don't think he's going to have to work too hard with the cornerbacks I have, but be nice coming in and knocking people out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and last pick but not least, kind of crazy he fell to this far. Got to go Ronnie Lott.
Yeah, I mean, he's arguably the best safety of all time, and he was picked.
Yeah, the last safety. My last pick of the draft, which is wild.
I mean, I still like Troy and Ed over.
Those are my top 2 as well. I kind of hoped you picked Ronnie Lott, so I would pick one of those 2.
My last corner. Oh, there's a few. I could go old timer. Part of me wants to do Ty Law because when my cousin lived in Boston for a couple years, he lived on the same floor as Ty Law and was friends with Ty Law's son.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool.
Dude, Ty Law was locked down.
It was like first.
He was good.
But I think I'm going to go Richard Sherman. Oh, man. Richard Sherman or Ty Law. Oh. I think Ty Law's probably better, but we need a representative from the Legion of Boom. So Richard Sherman it is.
Yep. He's got the attitude to bring too, which is big time.
Yeah. Fun. That's what we need.
Ooh, these are pretty interesting lists here.
Obviously, you have the better corners. I like my safeties.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty close both sides, honestly.
Mm-hmm. My thought was knowing you were going to get Prime. In my mind, Prime is head and shoulders the best corner.
Yeah, me too. I think that's obvious.
So I'm like, if you already have him, I need to try to get an edge somewhere, which was why I was assuming you were going to get him. And if so, I was like, I think I should lock up.
If you would have had, if I didn't pick Champ Bailey and Revis, who would you have picked for your, if I went safeties for some reason?
Revis probably would have been my number 1 corner to go to. I think he's probably the best besides Dion.
I don't know, dude.
I like Champ Bailey.
Was dominant back when he was playing.
I mean, yeah, dude, we're talking about the best corners that we know.
Revis had that.
Obviously, they're all dominant.
That just like whatever around him. The Revis Island deal. The Jets defense was crazy back then.
I mean, he just a lockdown corner.
You're not doing much against Revis or any of these dudes, honestly.
And then Ed Reed and Troy Polamalu were just some of, like, it's nostalgia, talent, the way they played, everything about them. They were just like some of my favorites, and so I'm like, they could be the two.
I think your safeties are better.
I also Ronnie Lott's nasty. All right, special teams. I get to pick first. We're going kicker, punter, long snapper, kick returner, punt returner. Pick one. Gonna go punt returner, Devin Hester.
Yeah. Figured
had a
that
feeling.
One was on the way. I'm gonna go a kick returner, and I'm gonna take Josh Cribbs. Josh Cribbs to the crib. That's my guy.
That's a good one.
I don't know where to go next, honestly. I think all these guys are pretty comparable. I'm going to go.
Plus, you can put, I guess, technically, Dion can fill in a kick or punt return on your team. You already have them.
Yeah, I know. Let's go. Should I go with punter? I think I might go with
Yeah.
punter. And this might be a reach, but I'm also going for just the general locker room guy.
Oh, you're gonna
I'm
do
going
what I
Pat
think I was gonna do.
McAfee.
I was gonna.
I mean,
take
he was
Pat
also
McAfee
awesome
here.
as a punter. He was unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, that was my
Yeah.
rationale. I was like, I can take Pat McAfee, and he's not gonna be a weakness at punter at all. Maybe he's not the best, but you have the locker room
Right.
vibes of Pat McAfee on your team. Oh, I thought you were gonna overlook him there.
I almost did. I just didn't know who to get over him. So, yeah, that's to neutralize Devin Hester.
Yeah, because it's not like there's someone who's so much better than him that it makes sense.
He was so good as a punter.
And he's Pat McAfee. Ooh, kickers throw me off, dude.
Ooh.
I'm going to go, though. I'm going to do Justin Tucker. I almost went Vinatieri, but to me, I think Justin Tucker might be better. And if anyone from Baltimore hears me say that, I don't mean it. Vinatieri is better.
I kind of wanted you to. I almost picked a kicker there, but I wasn't sure whether I want to go Tucker or Vinatieri. I think Tucker might be slightly better, but in a clutch moment, Vinatieri is just fine for me.
I know. I mean, you can't go better than him.
But also, Justin Tucker's unbelievable in clutch moments too.
Oh, I got another pick. Forgot that. Yeah, where you kind of hope. I was almost hoping you would pick first so I could decide that way.
Yeah, well, that's why I didn't pick it there because I didn't know.
I understand draft strategy would say pick a long snapper. I don't care who my long snapper is. So I'm going to pick. I actually don't care about anything else. I'm just going to go ahead and I guess you still have punt return available. So I'm going to do Cordarrelle Patterson so you can't take him there in case you were thinking about it. I don't think you were, but that's the only reason I'm picking that now. So Cordarrelle Patterson, Cordero at
Rock Hill boy.
returner.
This is getting tough. Maybe I probably should have put Cribbs at punt return and drafted Cordero.
Cordero.
But I think I'm going to go with another TV personality and take Desmond Howard at punt return. So I got two of the guys on College Game Day on my team.
Are you worried about the locker room dynamic with them? You know, are they going to overshadow the other guys? Might be drama there.
I'm not worried about it. I got Dion, Pat McAfee, Desmond Howard. It's going to be electric.
Yeah.
And so I still have a kicker. Got to go Adam Vinatieri. I was between him and Justin Tucker.
Yep.
Vinatieri's probably the most clutch kicker of all time. Yep, lock him up there.
All right, so I've got to get a punter. Give me Ray Guy. That's
The
cool
Ray
name
Guy
for a
Award.
punter. Wanted Ray Guy. And then long snapper. I'm going to do Bo Brinkley. He's got 15 tackles.
Ever?
I think.
Yeah, I have no clue on this right now. So, long snapper, as long as you do your job, get the ball there quick. You know, the guys are at the top of their game. They're all pretty similar. I'm going longtime Panther J.J. Jansen as my long snapper.
I did see that on some lists.
So I had to do it immediately when I saw that.
Boom. We did it. Our
teams are done.
I like the way I fared in these two drafts, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I also like the way I fared in these two drafts, actually.
But I like the way that I fared more.
Okay. My argument is I think having better cornerbacks is more important for your team overall.
I don't necessarily disagree with you, but knowing that I was not going to have Prime going in, I like the way that I fared.
Yeah, that's fair.
I would have rather picked first and gotten Prime. But it is what it is.
I think you did pretty good in these drafts, better than you have in some of the past ones.
All right, on that note, we're ending this episode.